There. Oh my goodness. There's a big kill. There's a big male on there. It looks like a giraffe carcass, which is mental. Join me and Oles as we explore Africa and its many wonders, including the beautiful wildlife that we get to see, whilst we camp wild and stay in some of the most exclusive camps that there are.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning back in. This week we're in Botswana and in a lion sighting with lions on a giraffe kill. Some of the footage is a little bit graphic, so just be warned, this is nature at its rawest. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any questions about anything or if you want more footage like this, and stick around to the end for a little special surprise.
We've found not 2, but 3 massive male lions who look battered and bruised and scarred here in the middle of the Okavango Delta in Botswana. It's insane, like genuinely so awesome to find these males. They're on this pretty large old male giraffe carcass. We were told about this kill from some other guides of the area, so we knew roughly where we were heading. Didn't have any maps or anything like that, so had to rely on some of the old guiding skills. One thing that really helped us to find exactly where they were was vultures. I don't know if you can see some of these vultures in the trees here. We saw some vultures circling, we saw some vultures high in the trees, and that meant to us that, okay, this must be where it is. Because the vultures were in the trees and not on the ground, that's a really good indication that the lions are still here. And obviously, we can now see the lions are very much still here. Just going to move the car a little bit just so you can get a better view. Is he okay? Just get a sense of the size of these giraffes. That whole male lion is not even the full length of that giraffe's neck. That is insane. Do you see how he's eating just on the inside of the skin there? It's pretty grim. But you see how he's using the side of his mouth here. I'm not sure if you can see me there. The side of his mouth here. And they're cats, lions. I think most predators actually have what's called a carnassial shear. So teeth which kind of go in like a V shape and then are welcomed by kind of a groove V shape. And that just helps to slice through meat super cleanly. So that's what the lions will be doing. They'll always kind of go with the sides of their teeth. They're big incisors. That's more to do with just kind of catching and then killing the animal as well. The way that lions typically actually eventually kill an animal is by suffocating them. So they'll grab around their throat until they stop breathing. Now giraffes are massive, so that will take a big effort. They might also grab around the nostrils. Lions have been known as well to start feeding on their prey whilst they're still alive, and that sometimes will end up in the animal eventually dying. Now, Oles is my passenger today, and she just asked a couple of really good questions. So, first question is, what is that disgusting thing on the ground? Now, that is the stomach content. If you look at it quite closely, we're not going to get that close because it is quite grim. You can actually see broken down kind of cud balls and just fibres. Giraffes, not this one anymore sadly, feed on leaves. Leaves from acacia trees, and they've got amazing tongues which can wiggle in and out and kind of break down the thorns. Their tongues are about that long and dark blue. Weird. Anyway, I digress. So they eat leaves, and they're ruminants, so they have different chambers of their stomachs, and they can break everything down to a tiny little kind of ball, which is then really well digested. So that disgusting content on the floor there is the stomach content, which is just not very nutritious. Lions don't eat it. Looks like it has been broken open, and when that broke open, that would have been the most horrendous smell in the world. It smells actually not too bad considering what a massive hunk of meat it is. and that it's been here, I think, for a day or so. We're upwind, so that's probably the reason that it's not too bad. And then the second question was, is this a male or a female giraffe? Now, again, I'll see if I can get a good shot of it, but the horns up the top there, you can just about see that they're bald on top, indicated that this is a male giraffe. But what happened here, and how do lions catch such a big animal as this? Really good question. Now, it could either have been that the male had an injury and maybe couldn't carry on very much further, and the male lions were able to come up, chase it a little bit, drag it down. What lions do typically if they're going to catch a giraffe is just try and chase it as much as possible. One of them will try and jump onto the back of the giraffe just to put a little bit of extra weight, whilst others try and get around the legs. They'll be very careful not to get directly behind the back legs, because if a male giraffe kicked with his back legs, sorry, that was a bit loud, kicked with the back legs and hit the lions, that could actually quite easily kill the lions. So they'll often chase them into thicker areas. Now, this is quite a thick area, and there's a very high chance that this giraffe tripped on a log, in a hole, uneven piece of ground, and fell. And as soon as the giraffe falls, that's game over. The lions will be on it, especially 3 massive male lions. Their combined weight, their strength, their power, the giraffe's not going to be able to get up in time. It's quite a laborious process for a giraffe to stand up. So yeah, it must have fallen, and then bang, they were on it. And even though these 3 male lions are probably brothers, not necessarily from the same litter, but from a similar time within a pride, male lions form coalitions. Even though they're almost certainly related, as soon as they started feeding on this, it would have been one hell of a battle. The lions would have been boxing each other, growling, really trying to squabble for the best bit. Even though it's a massive giraffe, chances are that they were still going at each other quite hard. I think kind of that excitement of catching a giraffe. It's insane. I've only ever seen actually males feeding on a giraffe a few times. It's sad, obviously, to lose such a beautiful animal, but that'll feed these lions really well. And these lions, these males, almost certainly have a couple of prides that they are dominant over. Most probably one for sure, but maybe another couple. And them being well fed and strong and fit means that in all likelihood they'll be able to protect their prides, which probably have some cubs as well, against any other coalition. So yes, it's really sad that this male giraffe has died, but it's fed these 3, I was going to say stunning, but they're pretty gnarly looking, these 3 male lions. Those male lions will protect lionesses and cubs, so it's all part of this bigger circle and the food chain. After these male lions have moved off, hyenas will pull through. It's almost certain that hyenas have tried to come through already, but hyenas, when it comes to male lions, they're pretty cautious. They'll keep their distance, give it a bit of a wide berth. Male lions will just have a real good go at them. Interestingly, when it's just lionesses, if there are enough hyenas, they will try and pull through. Anyway, I'm sure that they're not too far away, waiting for these males to push off. They'll come through. The vultures will land as well. Only in daylight do vultures land down on kills. So once the sun starts to set, they will move up into the trees around here just for a bit more safety. They'll be here. There'll be genets, jackals, all sorts. So a lot of animals are going to get a meal out of this. So yeah, it's sad, but it's part of this bigger picture. And the wind has just changed, so I'm going to move the vehicle. Just left the lions for a quick comfort break and sundowner. Not too far from where they are, but down by this beautiful open lagoon of the Okavango Delta. Quick little break here, and then we're going to head back to the lions to see if we're lucky enough to be there when they roar. Hopefully they'll roar as the sun goes, so we'll nip back there straight after this. Fingers crossed.
And so there we have it. What an epic sighting, opportunity to view something so wild and raw. Really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please press like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know if you enjoyed this kind of video in the comments below. Thank you so much, and catch you in the next one.
We spotted a flap-necked chameleon. Pretty amazing thing to spot out here in the bush. This one here is huge. It's often quite a fun trick to, it's not really a trick, you still got to have good eyes to spot them, but I mean this one was massive and I was going at 1 mile an hour, so it was pretty easy. But when you are driving, they are sleeping usually, and quite a light colour, different from their normal green, so you usually can spot them a little bit easily because the light will reflect off them slightly. I'll show you this guy here now. See if you can spot him. There.